Right guys, let's talk about energy. I've just watched a couple of videos in the UK and this is my wood. So what you see there, down to there, this is running across the front of the house here. And you can see how it's dried out. Look at the split in there. And this wood, a couple of months ago, was drenched. Absolutely full of water. Now it's more or less fully cracked up. So this is 5 cube, and typically this is what I would use for one winter, right? So if we go inside, it's really hot out today. It's about 32 degrees. Okay, so this is the hot water boiler, which gives you mains pressure water, and I set it to a temperature which I learned this year actually, when I was sitting there thinking, and I set this water heater to just about bearable shower heat, and you need a bit more to do the dishes, right? I'll explain in a minute about that. This is the electric supply. So there's and this is my heating source, which looks a bit, I'm gonna get some I've got some Zebu actually, which I brought from the UK, which is blacking, and I'm gonna clean all that up. Well, clean it up, I'm gonna black it up. I think it's called black lead as well. And I've taken the top of the this is the flue, and I've taken the top off, and that's the hole where the in the winter the flue goes through. Now I use that now for the heat. So there's a little bit of a drawer on that, and like it goes straight up the chimney, which is upstairs. So it really does. If you go and put your hand above that, you can feel the hot air pouring out of this room, right? So that's the second source of heat. This is the wood burner, and I've got this this trivet here is off of like a gas. Is off a gas ring, an old thing which I threw away, and it's really helpful to heat stuff up in the winter. And I do a lot of cooking on here, almost all the cooking on here. So that's that. And if we go across here, this is the other source of heat, which is the gas bottles. I've got 4 of these. There's 2 there. One in the cupboard. And there's one outside in the summer kitchen. What we call a summer kitchen. Right? So that's the gas. So you've seen the wood and the gas and the electric. And those are the 3 heat sources and energy sources, shall we say. Not heat, just and cooking as well. Right, so the hot water is not really a necessity. I could do it intermittently, and I just leave it on all the time, and I set it at this level. But when I do the dishes, all I have to do is just boil a kettle, or sometimes 2, just to boost the heat up, so it can do the dishes bit more effectively. But generally, I just have it on a shower, which makes a hell of a difference to the bills, you know, I've noticed. So that's one thing I did with frugal thing. Right. So I was looking at the Brit rants actually, and that's what spurred me to do this little video on Bulgaria. And actually, my yearly energy costs as they are right now. Now you see that wood outside. That's what I'd use in the winter. And it might look like a lot of wood, but it isn't really. People use a lot more than that, right? And I probably do as well. I probably use another, maybe, sometimes another cubic meter. Depends. Depends how I feel. And the other thing is, what I always think about in the UK are the way houses are set out and built, and especially like the old type semi-detached house, right, where you come in the front door, right. Now my front door comes straight into this area, right. Now most houses, like the old semi-detached type, they have a hallway and the stairs straight right in front of the front door, and then the landing area, which is huge, absolutely massive cubic meter area that people heat, and they don't live in that space. All they do is climb up the stairs to go to bed, to go to the bedrooms upstairs. And it's massive, and like all the heat from downstairs. And if you a lot of people leave the kitchen door open or whatever, and all that heat is going up these stairs and then the landing upstairs, and it's a massive area, cubic meter area. So you can cut down on that. Like in Bulgaria, a lot of people just move to one area in the winter, which I do. Well, I live in one area now, the whole year round. And I could actually probably, I could probably cut down a little bit. Well, I couldn't really. I mean, I'm on the bones, So, what do I use per year, and how much does it cost? Right. Now, I've just done a little bit of a sketch here, quickly on a piece of paper, and I could put it on, on the screen and all that, but I can't be asked, because it'll take ages to go through my trying to edit it all in. So I'll just do it like this. Right. So there it is. So my energy comes from wood, right? Electric and gas bottles, and I only use 2 gas bottles a year, maximum, absolute maximum, just for cooking. And the wood is 5 cubic meters, right? And the electric is as you can see there, it's around about like £30 a month, English money. 5 cubic meters of wood is £200. So that's the heating for the whole winter. £200. 2 gas bottles works out about £27, maybe a little bit less. The electric is £360 a year, £360, and I could cut that down, definitely. Definitely. So the approximate per year here in this house is £600. That's it. £600, and I could cut that down actually, but like, well, I probably couldn't actually, unless I'm thinking about getting some solar water. Like at the moment, that's because it's manageable. I can't be asked doing anything else because I'm happy. I'm just happy with that. Right, so that's what it's costing me per year on all the energy, and I'm not I'm not kind of reliant on any one source of energy, right? Especially in the winter, because I can cook on the wood. All you need, a wood burner gives you energy security on a household level. I wouldn't need electricity. If the electricity went off for 3 weeks, it wouldn't really, apart from not having internet and stuff like that, it wouldn't be life-threatening or anything like that. By no means, absolutely no means, because I've got bottles of gas for cooking, and I've got the wood burner for cooking as well, and then all it need is light, which you can easily get from candles, which I've got tons of them, and torches, and head torches are good in this environment. We get a lot of power cuts, and a good head torch, you're laughing. Absolutely, you know that's all you need, really. I mean, if you haven't got any internet and you haven't got anything else, I mean, you could always like go somewhere else. You could always go down south of Greece, or like head for like the south of Albania or wherever. But you wouldn't. It never comes to that. No one's with it. The most I've heard here, which was a power cut without electricity, and it wasn't far from here, was a week, and that's just mismanagement. A place called Ablanica, and they got they got compensated and all the rest of it, and they had generators shipped in and all. A week? That's too much, Anyway, well, you hear in America, people, electric's cut off for like up to 3 weeks, because it's quite big, America. It's quite, some places are quite remote. So, like, I can understand that, but like, I wouldn't suffer. You wouldn't suffer here for a moment, because you've got the wood, and that's all you need. And if you've got the wood in that fire, you're toasty warm, whatever the temperature. And I've got gas bottles to cook on if I need to. But if you've got, if you're in the depths of winter, I'm cooking on the wood burner anyway. And probably the only other thing, which would be a minor inconvenience, is the freezer. You just open the door. I could just open the door and everything would be frozen, because the fridge is outside in the tunnel, and if it was cold, it'd probably be all right. But like, that's a minor thing. In emergency situation, that's a minor thing, And if you got the car outside and you go and you can go and get stuff, and go and get a ready-made chicken or whatever. Although they probably wouldn't have any electric if I don't. But you get the gist. You can always go and get some food, and I've got food here in a cupboard and that only anything that isn't in the freezer, you're okay. And I'd probably, after about 2 days, I'd probably cook all that anyway. And that'd keep, that'd keep for a week or whatever, depending on what the food was. Anyway, so you could always drive out and get something probably, or just drive to a warmer place. It only take a day here to get to like South of Greece. A day. I'd be there 12 hours. So there's no like panic here. So that's it. £600 a year. Someone was saying it's like $2,500 in the UK, and it's not even cold there compared with here. It's it's quite mild. The only thing is that the way the heating's set up there, and not many people use wood burners, and that's another thing with the wood. You can always go into the forest if you're getting short, which you never would. I won't anyway, because tomorrow I'm going to start getting that wood in. You see how cracked up it was? That's dry. That's easily dry enough now to use for this winter, and I'm going to get all that wood in starting from tomorrow, and then I'm going to get another 5 cube. So I know what my heating bill's going to be 2 years down the line, and I've already paid it, which is comforting, to say the least. It really is. It really is, and like, it would be an idea to have, and I did in the last house. I always had 10 cube, always, and I've got close to that now. But like, I need to get like another 5 now to be absolutely peace of mind. Not for this year, and not for next year, for the year after. I'll be getting into the year after that. So that's the beauty of wood. You've already paid for your heating. You've already paid for your heating for as long as you want. If you've got the storage space, which is the only thing I'm lacking here, really, is a bit of storage space for wood. But I'm going to have to start putting it in the back through the house, right through the tunnel. I'm putting it in the back. Because I want 15 cube at any one time, and now I've got 10. Well, I've got about 8 at the moment. Yeah, 8. I've got 8 at the moment, and then with the next 5 I'll have 13, obviously. So yeah, so that's what I'm paying here. That's Bulgaria, and that's, it could go up there if you've got a family with kids and a 2-story house and all the rest of it. You could probably put a bit more on the wood. Depends how you heat the house, and you could get LPG central heating, and you can put radiators off the wood burner, actually. And I don't, because it just I just live downstairs and live and breathe and sleep all in the same place in summer and winter. And I've got a bedroom upstairs, which is, just ready to go. The bed's made up. I can sleep up there any time I want, but like, I just don't. I just sleep downstairs. But anyway, so that's a little bit of economics, and you could shave off that if you were struggling. You could probably do it for 500 quid a year. I could anyway, but like, you know, but because it's a little bit poorly insulated. Certain parts like the door or doors, they're not very well sealed up. But it's a good idea not to have everything sealed up with a wood burner. It's good to have a bit of airflow for the carbon monoxide dangers, you know. So there is that as well. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at anyway. £600 a year. I mean, I don't think that's too bad. Okay. Cheers.